American Infamy, written by Takeo Hori. Exterior San Pedro High School baseball field day. Harry Nomura, 19. Nisai, second-generation Japanese American, fiercely looks at us with total focus. In his baseball uniform at bat in a batter's box, he's athletic, confident, sunny, a leader. Harry swings at a pitch and misses.
Strike!
That's the ticket, Biff.
Spectators are all Caucasian on both the home and visitor sides. Super, San Pedro, California, 1941. Maria Castellano, 19, spirited and saucy daughter of Italian immigrants, watches from the front row of the home team's bleachers.
Strike the Jap out and let's go home.
Maria shoots daggers at the heckler with her eyes. Scoreboard shows it's the bottom of the ninth, and the score is home 2, visitors 3. A runner, Walt 18, is on second base, raring to run. The pitcher rears back and fires a fastball. Harry watches it fly past the middle of the plate.
Strike 2.
The Jap's too dumb to swing.
Laughs and jeers from the visitor's side. The pitcher throws it inside fastball. Harry backs away to narrowly avoid getting beamed, but falls on his butt.
Oh. Hey, pitcher, play fair!
Harry steps away from the batter's box to collect himself.
The Jap is scared. Chicken Jap.
Hey, you want to watch your mouth.
Harry looks over at Maria and winks at her. Her face lights up and she smiles back. Harry struts back to the batter's box, points his bat at the jab-yelling heckler in the bleachers and stares him down, then defiantly points his back toward right field.
The Jap thinks he's Babe Ruth.
Come on, Harry, bring it on home.
Bring it home, Harry.
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 The pitcher goes into a full windup and fires a ferocious fastball straight down the center. Crack! Harry smashes the ball. It soars deep into right field over the outstretched glove of the right fielder as the home team crowd goes wild. Harry rounds second as the right fielder chases the ball. Walt crosses home plate to attaboys from his teammates. The right fielder picks the ball and throws it to the second baseman, who relays it along. Harry slides into home as the catcher gets the ball too late. Maria and the entire home crowd stand up and cheer. The home team crowds around Harry and congratulate and slap him good-naturedly. Maria beams at Harry as he slips away from the scrum of players and strides up to her.
I wanted to punch that heckler for calling you names.
I think it made me a better hitter.
It just made me so mad.
I like it when you get all excited defending me.
Oh, Harry.
What do you say we go somewhere cozy?
Now we're talking.
Exterior high school parking lot day. Harry and Maria walk with arms around each other into the parking lot where groups of high schoolers hang out. Harry shares Cracker Jacks with Maria and pulls a surprise toy out of the box, an orange plastic ring. He smiles mischievously. Harry suddenly gets down on one knee and dramatically presents the toy ring to Maria.
Maria, will you marry me?
Maria brushes
Harry.
him off as
Sorry. Come on, Harry. You're getting your pants dirty.
I mean it.
Don't joke about this stuff, Harry.
I'm doggone serious. Maria Castellano, will you marry me? Harry Nomura?
Of course I would.
Harry's face lights up.
But
But what?
this is no way to propose to a girl.
I'll save up and buy a real ring.
And we can't get married.
Because I'm Japanese.
Not in California.
So we just go to another state. I got a cousin up in Washington got married.
Washington.
We take a nice scenic drive up the coast and get married there.
Everything's so simple and easy for you, isn't it, Harry?
Why shouldn't it be? I love you. I want to marry you. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
They kiss and look into each other's eyes when they hear.
Maria, get away from him.
Harry looks towards the voice and sees
Cripes, it's your brother.
Vincent Castellano, 20, and tough-looking, approaches with his menacing-looking Italian-American buddies.
Let's go. Papa wants you.
Vinny, we were just talking.
Maria, what'd I tell you?
Vincent grabs Maria's arm and starts to pull her away.
You have no right to do this.
Hell, I do.
Let go.
Vinny, she doesn't want to go.
Shut up, dirty chap.
Harry blows up and lunges at Vincent, but his buddies block Harry and shove him back. He counterpunches and they all gang up to punch and kick him. Meanwhile, Vincent shoves Maria into his car and drives away. Outnumbered, Harry ends up bruised and sprawled on the ground. Interior Nomura's house, dining room day. Genzo Nomura, 50s, Harry's father. I don't know how to say that. First generation Japanese American wholesale business owner, Horosaki for Captain Shingano, 50s, jolly Japanese merchant, ship captain, both in natty golfwear at a large dining table with a feast of sushi, tempura, and other Japanese delicacies. Note, dialogue in italics are spoken in Japanese subtitled.
Things can't be that bad in Japan.
Do we have one of those?
Yeah, John.
Sorry, I was reading it, but I was muted. They are. This US embargo on oil. It's going to keep my ship anchored in Yokohama. Or worse.
Mitsu Nomura, 40s, Genzo's steadfast wife, wearing a kitchen apron, puts down a plate of food and sits down.
What?
There's talk of war everywhere.
Japan can't go to war with America.
That's 80% of Japan's oil we're talking about. I'm telling you.
But war would mean no more imports. I'd have to go back to selling mackerel.
Off of Genzo's worried look, Harry enters, his cheeks swollen from a punch he took.
You remember Harry, my second son?
The baseball player, right?
Yes, sir.
Harry, what happened to your face?
I just got hit by a baseball. But I hit the winning home run.
If he'd only study like his brother instead of playing baseball and chasing Hakujin girls.
Harry rolls his eyes at his routine jab from Dad.
Papa, I'm not chasing girls. I have one girlfriend who I've known since 3rd grade.
See, he's American. Always talk back, not very Japanese.
Harry doesn't find this funny. Sensing the tension, Captain Shingano diverts attention to a framed photo on a shelf.
Norimuru-san. Is that you?
Insert photo, Genzo raising his arms in victory on a golf green next to a golf cup and flag, proudly brandishing a golf putter.
It's just from when I hit a hole in one.
Harry rolls his eyes. Here he goes again.
A hole in one. Can I see it?
Harry, can you...
Harry sighs and grabs the framed photo next to him and hands it to Captain Shingano, who admires it while Genzo gloats.
And lucky for you, you had a camera to capture the moment.
He went back the next day with a cameraman.
You're not supposed to say that.
Tom Nomura, 22, eldest son, walks in. He looks the straight arrow and straight A college student that he is. Eyes Genzo Saki.
What are you doing? You've got surgery next week.
Tell him, I can't make him stop.
Genzo defiantly finished his cup of sake. Tom sits down.
I'm sorry I'm late for dinner. I was held up at the JACL office.
My Tom is an A student, but if he'd study, instead of wasting time on these nice-eye groups, he'd be a lawyer by now.
It's not a waste of time. And the Japanese American Citizens League isn't just NISA. We work for all Japanese Americans, including ASIC, like you. We secured citizenship for war veterans.
What about the rest of us? Mama and I can't become citizens.
Things take time.
We in America 30 years and can't own property. More time mean nothing.
Suddenly, Genzo grips his stomach and grimaces in pain.
What's wrong?
Just my ulcer.
Because you drink. I'll get milk.
Mitsu snatches Genzo's sake cup away and goes to the kitchen.
You know what the JACL does. Tell Papa about what we do.
I'm with Papa. Everyone thinks the JACL are a bunch of stuck-ups.
What? You don't know what you're talking about.
Mitsu brings back a glass of milk for Genzo.
This will help calm your stomach.
And she gives an admonishing look at Tom and Harry also. Genzo gulps down the milk, then proclaims with a milk mustache.
All I'm saying is, he who chases two rabbits.
Who's neither?
Catches neither.
Caught mimicking Genzo in unison, they burst out laughing in a rare moment of agreement. Genzo is not amused. Interior Castellano's house living room day. Maria tiptoes through the room with a beach bag as her mother, Mrs. Castellano, 50s, washes dishes in the kitchen. Exterior Castellano's house continuous. Maria scurries across the street of this working class neighborhood. Mrs. Castellano yells from her doorway.
Maria, where are you going?
I'm just meeting up with Norma.
Maria jumps into a parked Pontiac sedan, which roars away. Mrs. Castellano sees Harry and Maria smooching in its back window and curses in Italian. Exterior Long Beach ocean day. Harry and Maria are passionately making out in the water, pausing only to catch their breath and gaze into each other's eyes. A big wave hits the smiling Harry by surprise, and he gets a mouthful of water, coughs it up. Maria cracks up.
You didn't warn me.
Oh, Harry, look out. A wave.
Why, you?
Harry splashes her playfully, grabs her in jest, then kisses her. Exterior Long Beach day. Walt and his girlfriend Norma, 18, lay on the beach under a beach umbrella. Behind them, dozens of oil derricks loom like a forest of black towers. Harry and Maria walk out of the water toward them. A portable radio plays a swinging Tommy Dorsey big band tune. Harry hamily extends his hand to Maria.
May I have this dance?
Now we're talking.
Harry and Maria dance and swing with ease and familiarity.
We're such a happy pair that it isn't right. No, it isn't fair. To all those other boys, I give the air.
Abruptly, the music cuts off. Harry glares at the radio, annoyed.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this special news bulletin. President Roosevelt has announced in a statement today that the Japanese have just attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, from the air.
Okay. That's okay, Stewart. Thoughts?
Well, yes, a lot of characters to deal with. The baseball game will obviously take a lot of logistics to organise filming. In terms of the script, yeah, it was setting up the characters quite nicely, I thought. The different generations. And also the whole thing about the Japanese first and second generation in America, I thought was done quite nicely. Not that I know much about it, but it seemed to bring that alive a bit. And the sections where it was spoken in Japanese but had English subtitles, sort of, yeah, that I could see that working quite well. Kind of what they're really saying. So yeah, just quite a lot going on with different characters, but yeah, I think they were quite well drawn, and you knew who each other was. That was my impression.
Cool. Catherine?
Pretty much agree with that. I thought there were some interesting characters that were quite nicely defined. I think that everyone was quite nicely introduced. It was getting some good visuals. A word that stuck in my mind, maybe a bit of streamlining would help. It's a bit detail heavy perhaps, but that's nitpicking. I'm interested to see what happens next. They were quite well defined characters, so yeah.
Thank you. Ian?
I found it a bit stereotypical for small town USA leading up to Pearl Harbor. We've heard it many times. I thought the characters, they spent 10 pages bringing all these characters out, but we didn't have any uniqueness about them. We didn't really anything different. I'd like to have seen something maybe in these opening scenes that was unique, something different that's going to make this something apart from, you know, any other sort of racial tension story set in, you know, America prior to Pearl Harbor.
Emma?
Well, I'll echo a lot of what everybody else said, so there's no point repeating. But I was curious about why they couldn't marry before Pearl Harbor. I remember going to see George Takei at a talk he gave, and he was saying about being in an internment camp as an enemy alien after Pearl Harbor. But I was curious about why and whether that's going to be important for us to know as an audience. But I had wondered about whether there could be contrasting scenes of, you know, the different worlds that they come from. If it's going to be a bit of a Romeo and Juliet thing about, you know, the Italian Americans and the Japanese Americans and how their ways differ. Maria did say in quite a short space of time, now we're talking. So I don't know if it's a thing of hers or whether it was just, you know, whether it's just sort of a mistake or a repetition, but it jangled a tiny bit. But I thought there was a lot of warmth actually there. And I think maybe not entirely stereotypical, but baseball is, you know, more of a foreign country to me than either Italy or Japan or America. It's just it's mysterious.
Exactly. John.
Well, I kind of concur with both Ian and Stewart. You know, I mean, I've seen the Keanu Reeves film, which is pretty much the same thing, you know. There are, as Ian says, innumerable films out there, but I could also, as Stewart was saying, I kind of warmed to the characters. But, you know, I mean, it's from here to eternity, basically. But I did enjoy it, and I really kind of want to know where he's going to take this. Even though that seems like a conflict of opinions, but yeah, I did enjoy it.
Erin, what did you get?
Well, first of all, I'm sorry that if I mispronounced anything. I agree with what everyone's saying, but my interest is whether or not it's gonna be like focus on like a love story, or is it like, do they get torn apart also by like his baseball career? Like, I think those are the 2 points that like I find the most fascinating. And then like historically, I also like anything that has to do with history. A couple of things I thought too is Vincent was introduced, I think, after he showed up. And then I wondered if the baseball scenes might be more like listed as more of a montage. But I'm not sure whose story it is yet, which is, you know, interesting. I think the characters are well written. I'd like to know what happens next.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether it's a Romeo and Juliet, you know, because they're quite distinct cultures, aren't they? The Japanese culture and then the Italian culture, which is, having once had an Italian partner, I can tell you that the Italians have a whole life of their own, you know, that's absolutely incredible. And home life, you know, it's really is that kind of Godfather thing, isn't it? You know, family is desperately important, but then I get that's true also for Japanese culture as well.
I'm going to say it's similar.
It's the contrast is quite interesting. I think, yeah, I might have, again, we're talking about British people here, except for Erin, and we don't get baseball in the same way that Americans don't get cricket. So
I love baseball.
I don't get cricket
I love
either.
any baseball movie.
So
I
I mean, the baseball is great. I love the baseball, but in a way, what I really wanted to see was cricket. No, I didn't want to see cricket. What I'd love to see is that meal in the two different homes intercut with the same relationships, the parents, the kids, you know, but to see how it goes from one to the other, and they're having almost the same conversation in a way, but it's kind just like, you then
juxtaposition would be nice. Yeah,
the difference in the cultures come out, but also the similarities, because it's family, you know, and they have the same worries. But I agree, was it you, Emma, that said, you know, it's a kind of, if you put that thing in about them not being able to marry in California, and it's a throwaway comment, even I would imagine quite a lot of people in America are going to miss that, because do the younger generations understand what was going on, you know, pre-war, but I don't know. So yeah, I thought it was, other than that, I thought it was a well-written script. You know, there was nothing.
I thought it might be really interesting as a series though, too. Like, I know it's a film, but I think it might be, there's like so many characters. You know, maybe there could be like almost like chapters of different people,
Yeah,
because I think it's really, there's a lot of like, they're really well written. You kind of want to have that extra time to get to know them, at least personally.
really hard, really hard to juggle multiple characters who all have their own story. Unless you're having a series, like you say, and then you can focus on a group of characters, and then the next time you focus on another. It's but I'm getting the idea that it's actually Maria and Harry's story, isn't it? I think probably about how they negotiate their romance.
And probably the fact that he was maybe going to make it as a baseball star before Pearl Harbor. And
I mean,
that
he's
all collapsed
obviously
as
going to
well.
get interned, isn't he?
Yeah.
You
Oh, he's definitely going to get interned.
know? Yeah,
He's in California.
yeah,
You know, they were practically all interned.
yeah. So that's gonna, so I do want to know what happens next, you know. It just made me think, okay, where's this going?
Yeah, with somebody saying Romeo and Juliet there, it did kind of bring to mind West Side Story, but without the music.
Because we said Maria at the
Maria.
beginning.
Maria.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a little singing.
Okay, thank you.
And there was singing, yeah.
Just
No, that was mumbling.